I discovered something recently about the 2004 Punisher movie with Thomas Jane.
Oh yeah.
I did not know this. Maybe you did, but I found this out just a few days ago, and I thought it was quite fascinating.
That Thomas Jane was in a Mormon movie.
That too, I suppose.
Yeah, true fact. He played a local church's bishop.
Well, all right then.
There you go.
Then he went murdering people, just like those goddamn Mormons. Always
Dig it a
murdering.
damn. But yeah, what was your discovery?
So I think that by now most people know that during like the I think by now you can probably classify it as pretty iconic, the fight scene that he had with the Russian. And the Russian in the movie was played by Kevin Nash, famed WWE and WCW wrestler.
Okay.
He's played several very large man roles in Hollywood.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he was one of several wrestlers in The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler one. There were like at least 4 wrestlers in that movie. He was also they're big dudes. Yeah. Kevin Nash is like he's like 7 feet. He's a big guy.
Fucking A.
Yeah. He also played Super Shredder, and I think it was the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that had Super Shredder. That was him. But anyways, during that fight scene, they had the scene where he gets stabbed with the prop knife. It's a retractable blade that they had, and it's a pretty common tool that they use in Hollywood for stabbing. It's like a higher tech version of like what you get from like Halloween City. Like, you stab someone and then the knife just, But there was another blade there as well, and it was a dull blade, and that's the one that they use for like principal photography. One where like Thomas Jane is, he's like twirling it around in his hand, and then like
the switchblade,
or
the butterfly knife.
The butterfly knife, yeah. So with that one, Thomas Jane is playing around with that one, to show he's a badass and all that. And, that's the one that actually looks like a, legit knife and whatnot. But it's not retractable. However, it is dull, so that way if Thomas accidentally fucks up, he doesn't cut himself. But, he does the whole gimmick where he flips the knife around, and then he stabs the Russian in the chest.
Okay.
He stabbed him with the wrong knife, and he stabbed him with... So technically, he stabbed him with a prop knife, but it wasn't the retractable blade. It was the dull blade.
As soon as I heard you describing this, I was like, oh yeah, he got a real injury.
Yeah. And I hear the story to me gets more fascinating.
Okay.
Because when Kevin Nash got stabbed, that's the take they used in the movie.
Right.
Like, no, wrong. Like that's not supposed to.
That's that organic shit. It's
because here's the thing though, because organically, if I stab you with what's supposed to be a fucking prop knife, a retractable blade, and instead you get pierced with a dull fake knife, I'm pretty sure your response is going to be, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not an actor. I'd be like, what the hell, dude?
Well, I feel like even most actors would be like, oh, no. Like,
yeah.
But Thomas Jane's reaction is one of, it fits the movie because he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Little do we know he's like, oh, shit, for a different reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's not supposed to do that. However, Kevin Nash no-sells it like he's supposed to.
Like a good wrestler. Like a good wrestler, Kevin Nash is there.
Actually, if you're a good wrestler, you fucking sell it. But like a good big man, he...
like a good minion.
Kevin
Nash is there. Yeah.
He absolutely no-sold the knife wound.
Yeah.
And...
too bad Aragorn wasn't there to really deflect it.
Yeah. But so it was, after that, obviously, like they called, cut and whatnot, and they, made amends and whatnot, and Thomas Jane was extremely apologetic, like, I am so sorry. But, it's like not to
cut this man a fatter check,
right? And not to make this, a morbid topic or a down or anything like that, but you're familiar with like the movie Rust hasn't come out yet with Alec Baldwin, and like he accidentally shot someone on set.
Are they still trying to release it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was he shot. I think the lady was the cinematographer who he accidentally shot. But like it was one of those weird cases where it's like the gun that he was given was a prop gun. Now, should he have accidentally, waved the fake gun around? Probably still no. However, he's not the one who took the fake gun, using quotations, fake gun, loaded the fake gun, and set it down for the actor to pick up and use during the shoot. So like, it just got me thinking. It's like because technically, yeah, Alec Baldwin did unfortunately shoot and kill that lady. However, the brunt of that responsibility should probably be laid upon the person whose responsibility it is to make sure that these prop weapons are fucking prepared properly and set aside properly. And so it's kind of like the same thing here with Thomas Jane and stabbing Kevin Nash. It's like he probably should have had like the correct instrument there, instead of the knife he picked up, because someone should have caught that. But yeah, so that was an interesting story there.
That is kind of funny. Kevin Nash just like, nah, man, I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, and to kind of make up for it, he did actually get to throw Thomas Jane through that goddamn wall. Instead of a stuntman, it was Thomas. And apparently, like, the crew gave him plenty of beer to try to make up for it.
Good.
So
good. The crew was like, bro, you've earned it. Here you go. Here's a 12-pack. Here's 24 now.
Yeah. I would need a little bit more than that. And he goddamn stabbed me. Fucking prop department.
Right.
Yeah. In other interesting news, there's this comic book Reddit page that I often look at here, and this is actually like a good wholesome place. It's not full of fucking idiots like a lot of other online forum pages are.
Yeah.
It's just a place for collectors to hang out and talk about where they get their shit from, and things like that mostly. But recently, somebody posted something interesting,
Okay.
and they had the layout for the numbers for like the past 13 years of comic sales for collected editions. Collected editions would be anything that is like a oversized hardcover or an omnibus or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so they had the numbers for like Marvel, DC, Image, Boom, Dynamite, Dark Horse, all of them. And what was interesting is that basically from 2007 through 2021, because we don't have the numbers for 2022, obviously, but from 2007 to 2021, to my surprise, DC outsold Marvel in collected editions by quite a large margin.
Okay.
And when I saw that, I was like, that is interesting. Because if I had to guess before I saw the information, I would have said it's probably close, but Marvel has the edge. I would have assumed. But no, that is not the case. So then it got me thinking about why. And I came up with my own hypothesis. And then I looked down to see what everyone else was thinking. And to my surprise, they had a very similar hypothesis. And my reasoning for that is being, I would assume that it's because Marvel doesn't have they don't have a Watchmen. They don't have a Sandman. They don't have a Dark Knight Returns. They don't have a Year One. In other words, they don't have those big heavy hitters, standalone titles that people can read or pick up. And that is also what most of the forum page had to say concerning the matter. And that right there just kind of told me a lot. And I was like, I wonder why Marvel never really tried. Or if they tried, I wonder why they had less success than DC in that matter. It was just a really interesting statistic and a very strong theory to go behind it. Yeah. So I was not really sure about that one. Yeah.
Strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see here. But it looks like ultimately in 2021, Marvel had about 5,034 titles with 1,030,000 units sold, whereas DC had 3,500 titles and basically 1.7 million units sold. So it was by quite a large margin that that DC had outpaced them. But yeah, so I think that just the fact that Marvel doesn't have those benchmark books like DC has, and I just wondered, like, I wonder why the fuck they don't. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah.
Riveting stuff. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have for the cold open here today. But with that being said, homies one and all, welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the show. Yeah. A pretty surprising one at that tonight, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love the energy. You are just
I'm astounded. I'm just astounded, yeah. Because what we got to talk about, I think, is going to be... It's been a while since I'm going to take the stance I've taken. Yeah. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
If you guys could not tell by the title, we are here tonight to discuss the latest MCU Disney Plus special titled Werewolf by Night, which is, of course, based on a comic book by the same name, Werewolf by Night. So, yes, this will be a full spoiler discussion. So if you guys have not seen it yet, I highly suggest you hit the pause button, go and take a look at it, and then come back and resume. But with that being said, Kevin, what you think of this?
So that's the reason I'm surprised, homies, because it's been no secret out there to those listening for a long time that Disney Plus hasn't really impressed me too much overall, the content that we've received thus far. Even so much so to the point where the past couple of shows, like, you would ultimately review just kind of by yourself because I didn't watch the shit, you know? However, tonight, finally, that repertoire kind of changes for the better because Q and I sat down, we just watched it. It's only one episode, hence the simplicity behind this one. And, guys, it was actually really good. I'm actually really happy that Disney Plus gave us this for our little Halloween special because this was some quality content. And I'm a thumb way up there.
Yeah.
Way up there.
That thumb way up there.
Yeah.
Werewolf by Night is, it's probably, like, looking at the body of content by itself, it is hard to grade it. You may have to, like, grade it on the curve because it is just a 1 hour special, so it's not like a whole season of television. But I think as a whole, this may be the best piece of work that Disney Plus has put out for Marvel.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a very powerful, like, final statement. But yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything I liked more than it for sure because this was just kind of like so focused and so, like, strong in its simple storytelling that it had a lot going for it, man.
Yeah.
It was very cool and very unique in how it stood out.
Yeah. It had a lot going for it. It kept it very, like you said, very simple and streamlined. And it was also very original. Most of Phase 4 has been like walking into a Baskin Robbins that only serves vanilla. That's what majority of Phase 4 Marvel feels like. But Werewolf by Night actually feels like you're getting something that is not goddamn vanilla. I feel like now with this show, I've finally gotten something that has a variety of flavors in it.
Right.
And, you know, like it really kind of revitalized, at least, you know, for at least for now, like my faith in, you know, Disney Plus, Marvel Disney Plus, because, you know, I got to be honest, like I'm fully aware that Daredevil has finally appeared on She-Hulk. It still hadn't enticed me at all to watch it, like, anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I tried, because it really was my intent to watch all of She-Hulk because I basically skipped out on Miss Marvel. I saw enough of what I needed to see to know that I wasn't going to finish that.
Me too.
You didn't see any of it.
Exactly.
Okay. And so it was my goal to actually, watch all of She-Hulk because I didn't want to skip out on 2 shows. I got halfway through that season and said, yeah, you know what? If you like it, I'm glad. Do you? But I can't do it. And hopefully, like, because I know that like the She-Hulk numbers, unfortunately, are like down there with Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
In terms of viewership, which is unfortunate, but hopefully, hopefully that Daredevil appearance helped give it a bump.
So let's talk about your statement just then, because I don't agree with you. Why is it unfortunate?
Because She-Hulk deserves better.
I mean, the show or the character?
I mean,
the character.
The character deserves a better show.
That I agree with. The show, if the story writing isn't great and it's like you said, a very vanilla show, then I don't think it deserves to be called "Unfortunately, It's Bad." I think at that point we need to highlight that it's bad, so that way these story writers, the producers, will actually make a better effort. And that's my point of view on it. But I don't know. Like I just heard what you said and thought that was interesting. But I do agree with the depth of it in that She-Hulk, the character, deserves better. The same could be said of Moon Knight, the character, and Miss Marvel, that character, Kamala Khan. Yeah.
Interesting thing about Miss Marvel, her TV show may actually be her TV show is better than her comic book, but that's still not saying much.
Damn, son. Oh man.
Yeah, like that's a rare case where that show is still better than her source material. However, that's a very low bar.
I was about to say that's.
But now with She-Hulk on the other hand, it is quite the opposite. Like it is a very high bar to hit like those classic She-Hulk comic books and those iconic She-Hulk moments from the comic books.
Yeah.
The show doesn't quite live up to those standards, unfortunately. But as far as Werewolf by Night is concerned, this is a purposely like old school horror campy Disney Plus thing that they have released here, and it is in black and white. Again, I'm assuming that all you guys have seen it, so you know that that this show is in black and white. And the cool thing about this special is that it is made to feel like those old school Universal horror movies. So it's made to put you in mind of like the black and white Wolfman movie or Frankenstein, Nosferatu. It's made to put you in the same kind of mind frame as those, but made with like modern sensibilities and modern technology. And so even though it has that old school black and white feel and at times it's grainy and you see like the film tears in the corner of the screen, it is still like really high quality. So the way that this thing is shot is just beautiful. What you think of the cinematography?
Dude, fucking loved it, man. Like I had you pause it within the first minute of fucking opening credits to comment on the cinematography because it was just a very unique flavor. One thing, homies, to go ahead and fill you guys in on the conversation we had off mic, it was cool and a little jarring to watch this show in its opening details because the shots were all black and white, which your brain is trying to tell you is kind of old school and cool and different and very noir. But then it's like every shot had all the details of your most up-to-date camera. Like at the very beginning, for instance, like you see this door slowly rise. You see the metals of the door. You see the grain of the metal, the shading all over it. And then like as the door rises, you see these suit pants of this dude standing behind it, waiting for it to finish opening, and it's this guy with like this cool like dotted pants, and you see like all the design. I'm just kind of like, old school cameras didn't catch this much detail. I feel like even on film, but then it's like on this new school we get all these digital like all the fucking focus, and it's so detailed. But then it's like it's black and white, so my brain's trying to tell me it's old school. It was just kind of fun. It was different,
Yeah.
And like you commented, the shading really helped to kind of like accentuate that and really emphasize, like, hey, yeah, this is old school with like little blotches of quote unquote film burns happening to and fro. It was just really fun. Very cool choices, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, agreed. And and it was interesting because like we watched the trailer for this on the podcast a few weeks ago. And like during the trailer, it was like I really couldn't gather a whole lot of information from it. You know, I knew that, hey, one of these guys has got to be Jack Russell because this thing is called Werewolf by Night, and he is the Werewolf by Night. But you know, watching the trailer, I wasn't sure who was who. But you know, the one thing I caught in the trailer was I said, "Oh, cool, that's Man-Thing, so he's in this somewhere." But I didn't really have any kind of frame of reference as to what this story was going to really be about. It was just really difficult to tell, and I think that's for the better. But yeah, so when I finally got to sit down and watch this, at least for the first time, I was very much taken aback that, oh shit, you know, here's Ulysses Bloodstone. You know, I'm not like super versed in like the Marvel cryptids or even the Marvel monster hunters, but I am familiar with Ulysses Bloodstone and more familiar with his daughter Elsa, who is also here in a very prominent fashion. I would say that she is every bit as much crucial to this story as Jack is.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think another thing that threw me off from the trailers, and while like I wouldn't be able to tell you who was who just from watching the trailers, with the exception again of Man-Thing, is the fact that both our lead characters, Elsa and Jack, and I'm not saying this in like in a bad way, but they don't look anything like how I would expect them to. For example, Elsa has like very deep red hair in the comic books, whereas she's she's got black hair here in this TV show. And so, like, even if I did see her in the trailer, I wouldn't have known that was Elsa. And with Jack, it's really like his demeanor that first threw me off his trail, so to speak, because Jack, even, you know, when he's not a fucking werewolf, you know, in the comics, he's typically very, he's just a very confident guy. You know, he's not, not saying that this version of Jack was bumbling, but you could definitely tell that he had no clue what it was doing this to these other monster hunters.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun to see.
You can see the confusion quite often.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were going to say we were going to look up the actor, so let me do that real quick.
Yeah, actually, I think I have pulled up here. Yes, so Gail Garcia Bernal plays Jack Russell, and we have Laura Donnelly who plays Elsa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those are like our two lead, and also Harriet Sansom Harris plays Verussa Bloodstone. And she also did extremely well in this.
She did eerily well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was disturbing to watch because you're just like, I don't want to watch you anymore. But every scene with her was really good. Yeah. You're just like, oh man, I'm enjoying not wanting to watch you, but that's confusing to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really dug like this tight knit cast, and also I really dug the premise for this. And the premise is essentially the most renowned monster hunters were gathered at the at the post funeral for Ulysses. Yeah. Because Ulysses Bloodstone had, you guessed it, the Bloodstone. That's like, you know, that was his famed, I guess like his famed amulet in the comic books there. It was originally called the Blood Gem, but then they changed the Bloodstone.
Man, they really don't like gems and stones. They always gotta change up the fucking names.
Yep, they do.
I don't know why. That's stupid.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you know, giving it some credit, like it hasn't been called. The last time it was called like Blood Gem, I don't think that either of us were even born yet. You know, so it's been called Bloodstone for quite some time. Yeah. But basically, yeah, they're gathered here. It's like maybe 6 or so monster hunters, and they're all called in because they're supposed to be like the best of the best. And basically, there's going to be this competition held to see who is worthy to wield the Bloodstone next. Because the show doesn't go really into depth about what the Bloodstone can do, but they do drop some very subtle hints. Like for example, at the beginning of this, as there's just being like narration that's been spoken, you can hear, or you can see rather, Ulysses Bloodstone throughout the ages. See, Ulysses, and he didn't live an ordinary life, not just because he hunted monsters, but because he found that goddamn bloodstone. It gave him a long, long life, very long vitality, which is why at one point Verussa says to Elsa, basically, so it's one reason that you want the bloodstone for longevity. She threw that out there, and so like they, what I like about this is that, again, not taking shots at Marvel unnecessarily, so, but unlike some other Marvel properties, the people who actually wrote this knew the capabilities of the Bloodstone without over expositing about them.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is strong, because that would have been boring.
Yeah. And, it would have been unnecessary because you can assume that everyone in the room knew the capabilities of the Bloodstone. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. And what they were going to do, Verussa and her crew, was that they were going to, and these were Ulysses' last commands, so to speak, like his last will and testament, to determine who gets the Bloodstone. Where they're going to take the Bloodstone and put it or attach it to a very powerful monster, and whichever monster hunter can slay the monster can retrieve the Bloodstone for themselves. And so it is a competition, a race to see who can kill the monster, but also feel free to take out your competition. So it is very much so a every man for himself type scenario.
Which is kind of interesting because they also, and we kind of made fun of this a little bit too, it's like, whomever claims the Bloodstone and kills the monster will become the new leader of the lodge. But then it's like, you can kill each other. So essentially, if you overkill, you're the leader of nothing.
It was more so like you just get the Bloodstone, then you don't have to stay. You can just,
well, no, the chick even said you become the new leader.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like she explicitly explained. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean it's just kind of interesting because it's like, oh, that makes sense, cool. But then it's like, oh, you can kill each other. Now wait a minute. I'm not sure I want to be a part of this club. So, yeah.
But that definitely added like an added sense of danger to this whole competition.
Yeah, for real.
Which kind of leads to like the next really kind of fun thing that this show did that was just a really cool, unique, different flavor. This show did something that Moon Knight should have done, which was it gave us a healthy dose of gratuitous violence and gore. And I really fucking dug that. What you think of that aspect?
Agreed. I don't know. I don't know what the show is rated. Was it M?
I think it's at TV 14. And I think a lot of it had to do with it being black and white.
So my brain wants to understand and agree with you, but let's really exposit on that. Why does that matter? Like, what? Because you don't see the color of the blood? Like your brain doesn't register that it's really that violent, and it makes it so much, quote unquote, less violent because you don't have the vibrance of color?
Maybe.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
That's stupid as fuck. That's no. If I stab Kevin Nash with a dull knife in the crematorium or whatever the fuck, clue room, if I stab him in the clue room, black and white, red and green, whatever the fuck colors you want to put on your TV, it's still stab. I don't know, man. That's stupid. Because it's like that's a bullshit reason to water something down.
You mean like as far as the rating goes?
No, to water down Moon Knight and its level of violence, and to not give us that gratuitous, classic Moon Knight story.
Yeah.
Versus, pow, bam, wow. I don't know. I'm just making fun of it now, but you get the point.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely said my piece about Moon Knight and how they chose to pull on people's heartstrings rather than lean into like the violent nature of Moon Knight, which I think was a big mistake. I will give any of you homies $10 if you can tell me what Moon Knight's superpowers are in that TV show without going to a Marvel wiki page. They are the most vague, ambiguous superpowers I have ever seen. He has super strength and regeneration.
The Force. The power of the plot. I mean, the Force.
Yeah, I'm like, what kind of vague bullshit is this? But anyways, I'm not even
Wait, how many episodes were there?
of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I don't know, 8.
The 9th episode, all of a sudden that douchebag from CW comes out and he goes, "Run, Mark, run." All of a sudden, boom! He's got moon speed.
Moon speed.
Moon speed. He's running fast.
Yeah.
As fast as moonlight.
As fast as how fast is that?
Gotta go fast. I don't know. It's the same speed as light. It's just light.
I mean,
because technically the moonlight is just sunlight reflecting. So it's like technically it's still light from the sun, which is fast as fuck, my guy. So fast as fuck, arguably slower because it's going through darkness. But I don't know. Bro.
See, it's a good thing you went in that writings room. He have another vague, ambiguous superpower.
Exactly. Yeah. David fucking Berlanti would be like, I like that idea. Put it. I'd be like, no, motherfucker. That was written on a sticky note on a fucking joking cartoon.
It is Greg Berlanti, so you respect his name and get it right.
I will never. Which is ironic for 2 reasons.
And it's interesting because you said David. You said Dave Berlanti.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
close
not
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close enough. I don't. We're not backtracking this shit. not for wannabe Dave.
Not for wannabe Dave.
That made me chuckle.
But in retrospect, I am very glad that Moon Knight was not in this because honestly, he would have felt very out of place. Like the MCU version of Moon Knight would have been very out of place. Yeah.
It would have been weird.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
Khonshu would have been in place.
Yeah.
Khonshu would have been a good appearance, but that's about it.
But then again, and this is just my humble opinion, Khonshu only works best if we don't know that motherfucker is real, if he's just a construct of Mark Spector's own mental instabilities.
Yeah.
You know? But hey, what the hell do I know?
It sounds like you're salty.
Say what?
It sounds like you're salty.
Oh, no, you said the wrong word. You meant to say it sounds like I know my shit, because I do.
Now, wait a goddamn minute. What? Why is it like I'm salty, but you're knowing your shit?
Oh, that's because, because I know my shit. You know?
Well, I know my shit. I know when I'm getting told some good quality shit versus when I'm getting served some Dollar General motherfucking whatever.
No, you know what you are?
What am I? What the fuck am I?
You are the Karen at the restaurant who returns the meal without even trying it.
How dare
you?
How fucking dare you? No.
You don't want to have a serving of Miss Marvel. You want to have a sampling.
You know who the fuck I am? I'm the guy who reads the fucking newspaper still.
That's not.
Hear me out. I'm the guy who reads this shit and sees everything about it about to come out and says, I'm not sure I want a part of that. In fact, I don't want a part of that.
So you're the
I'm
guy
going to know to avoid it.
So you're the guy who still believes in the newspaper.
Fuck yeah, I am.
You goddamn.
I'm the guy, the legit newspaper, not like a literal written one out there, the idea of what the newspaper should be. I'm the guy who checks Google Maps and says, oh, look, there's a fucking wreck on this road I take to go home. I'm going to go around it. And I avoid the fucking wrecks. And that's what I've been doing, son.
Yeah, here's the thing. Google could be fucking wrong, and this man will take a 15-minute detour. See, now...
And I'll be happier for it.
Because ignorance is bliss.
Hey, and guess what? If later on I hear that the show is actually quality, then yeah, I'll go back and I'll watch it, and I'll eat the crow. But...
Oh, no, there's no reason for you to do all that. Because there has not been a reason
No,
to
exactly.
do it yet.
So far, Google has been wrong. There's the metaphor for you. So, yeah, at this point, I've not heard Jack defending Miss Marvel. I've not heard much defending She-Hulk except for Facebook dumb memes, which, by the way, are all but dead now. I don't see shit on Facebook talking about She-Hulk anymore, except for Daredevil. I see Daredevil now, and that's it. I don't even see She-Hulk in her own memes. So, there's that.
Her purpose is fulfilled. Like that show was supposed to introduce Daredevil,
Basically.
and it did.
Wow.
Man, like I was trying to think now. What?
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, I was trying to think. What comes out after? Like, what's our next show? There's like 80 billion of them, so it's like I should be able to know at least one of them is coming out next.
Are we talking like a Marvel DC show? I'm trying to remember which one.
Yeah, next Marvel or Disney Plus Marvel show.
Oh, I have no idea. Then you're asking the wrong tree. You're barking up the wrong.
This is
tree.
what I get for asking trees again. I should know better than
Quincy,
this.
but you gotta start going to the park with all your problems. Kevin, the sycamore knows what I need to do.
We got up on that tangent because we're talking about like the amount of violence that was in this special, and about how maybe one reason why it was rated, I think TV-14 instead of the MA rating, it was because of like the black and white and being able to hide maybe some of the gore or some of the blood and shadows or just dark saturation. But yeah, I don't know. And it is also interesting that the MCU isn't still quite ready to take that plunge. They're going to have to take it with Deadpool 3, so they might as well go ahead and get a head start on the R rating stuff there. And also when you consider the fact that now you have Deadpool 1, 2, and Logan all on Disney Plus, it's like you guys must well go ahead and just fully pull that trigger, Yeah, don't be afraid of the MA or the R rating. Like when necessary, use it, and when it's not necessary, don't use it.
Exactly. That's all we're asking. Yeah. That's all. Like it doesn't make sense to pop it for everything, but Deadpool, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna need that. Yeah.
Moon Knight also. It's too late, but yes.
Yeah. That was one of the reasons why back when the Netflix verse was still alive, I was really hoping that their next show would be Moon Knight because, tonally speaking, he would have fit in perfectly.
In the universe where we got Moon Knight Netflix, bro, that show would have been the bomb. Both the first and second season would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That reminds me. I'm going to wheel this car off the fucking road one more time. How many of these Disney Plus Marvel shows have been renewed for another season?
Loki. What If?
Okay.
Trying to think of the ones we got. I think that might be it so far.
There was also WandaVision. There was, what was the other one? Fucking me.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that one. You already mentioned Loki. You already mentioned What If. What about?
There's Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, I forget that one. I was about to skip them. There's Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and now She-Hulk. So 7.
We already counted Miss Marvel and
8. No, I forgot Miss Marvel.
Okay.
I forget
again. You keep forgetting.
My brain knows how to avoid that trauma. Yeah.
Using quotation marks there.
So of 8 shows, we have 2 that have been continued.
And I mean, considering the heavy slate, I wouldn't be surprised if that's partly by design. Like, if I'm being objective here. You got something on your mind there, bud? Looks like you're in deep thought over there.
No, I'm deeply sad. You could say that's by design, but it's a stupid ass design.
Oh yeah. I don't like the design that much myself, but there's some gems in there. There are some gems in there. Unfortunately, like none of the shows that I really really like are getting renewed, or except for What If. But other than that. In other words, I don't like Loki. All right? That's essentially what I just said.
I don't, I don't blame you. So, another episode. Let's move on. Stop me right now.
All right.
Just distract me.
I'm taking the wheel and we're steering back on the road here.
I'm giving it to you. You really don't have to take it. I'm literally just like, I regret this, please. Just take me home.
Country road.
It's the place that I have known. Not West Virginia, but shout out to the West Virginians listening out there.
Yeah. But yeah, so moving on here, once like the contest gets in the way and we see like the level of violence that they're doing here, and also like again with the cinematography and like the stunt work and coordination, it blends in beautifully. Because like we first get to see Elsa and she kicks all kinds of ass. A lot of her fighting style is very reminiscent of Black Widow. But we see her take people's hands. We see her stab people through like the jugular. We get to see her kick all kinds of ass, and it is quite awesome to see.
Indeed.
Oh, I thought you said "and dude" like you said "indeed."
Oh no, yeah.
Okay.
Just support.
Hell yeah.
I'm spotting.
Hell yeah. Man, it was really cool to see Man Thing. I almost wish that they didn't drop him in the trailer.
You just let him be a surprise. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, even though like again to their credit, he was in the trailer for like half a second.
Yeah, that was literally like if you blinked, you missed.
Yeah. And they just referred to him as Ted here. I think his real name's like Ted Salas, so that does make sense. Like before he became Man Thing, he was just a man.
Yeah, just Ted.
Yeah.
Without fungi or tentacles or swamp thing-esque designs.
Yep. He was just Ted Salas. It is interesting. I don't know if we'll see Man Thing again. Like with how popular he is from this TV show now, I think we probably will. But like his biggest affiliation isn't Jack Russell; it's more Howard the Duck, actually.
Nope.
Now, remind me, what is your beef with Howard? Do you have a beef with Howard?
What'd you say? I must have missed that. So his best friend's Jack. That's really cool. And Jack, we actually learned quite a bit about in this episode, homies, if you're unaware of that.
Hey, I feel like you...
I took the steering wheel, motherfucker. We're driving... I couldn't finish this statement. His best friend's Howard? Really?
I mean, that's who he like spends... At least from my like brief readings that have Man Thing in it, like I see him a lot with Howard.
What the fuck did you read?
Howard the Duck's not a bad character.
You read coloring books.
How dare you insult me like that, good sir? All of these are coloring books.
Just already done ones. Like you bought them finished. Yeah. Wow, man, you're getting ripped off.
I'm really good at these.
You're not coloring these. I could name you who's coloring them. Yeah. But nah, that's whack.
You mean that's quack?
Shut the fuck up. Go to bed.
Oh.
No.
Funny.
No.
Get your hand away from the soundboard.
I will not.
No.
Which one is it? Yes. I found the button, homies. I'm so proud.
Oh goddamn dare you. How
dare you, sir?
That was a good pun. But no, yeah. Howard's he's I would call him a cool cat, but he's a duck. He's a cool duck. Cool duck. Wait, what are you doing there, Kev? We have a podcast to do.
I'm going to bed. Wake me up when it ends.
Oh.
All right.
But it was really cool to see Man Thing in here, but also to see him do his thing, which is just fucking kick all kinds of ass.
Yeah.
And again, like I also really like how they use the Bloodstone as an instrument to like directly hurt the monsters. And so like they put it on Man Thing, thus weakening him, because honestly, that's the only way that any of those hunters would have stood a chance.
Yeah.
Because it's like the show recognized that they needed to nerf Man Thing in order for this to be, a competition.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and I don't know if they'll ever go this deep into it, but Man Thing, he is like a key central nexus figure, meaning that like in all like the Marvel multiverse, he is like a key component to it. He has access to it. Extremely fucking powerful in his own right, like There's a reason why people always compare him to Swamp Thing and like who will win, and it's like
Right.
fucking whoever's writing it. I don't fucking know.
Right. So what was he? Was he a mutant? Was he?
Oh no, he was
human?
again very similar to Swamp Thing. And again, I'm not sure which one came out first. So,
Okay.
but he was just a guy. He was a scientist, and he was working on some kind of formula. And again, this may be, I think, is another case of somebody trying to find some kind of replicant from like maybe the super soldier serum. It's hard to tell.
Sure.
But he was working on something. He injected himself with said serum.
Okay.
But then it was through that he was also driving through a swamp, and I believe he crashed. But like through a combination of that serum with like some magical elements as well, it transformed him into the Man Thing. And so like he, yeah. So before that, he was just a normal guy, not a mutant. Not an interdimensional being or creature. He was just a man. Man who got severely fucked up. Severely fucked up. But no, very cool to see him nonetheless, and very cool to see him use his abilities like just wrecking motherfuckers. That was a lot of fun to see. It was also really cool to see Jack do his thing as well, because it's like, I would say maybe my first time watching this one, like maybe 5 minutes into it, I was like, okay, so this guy, he's got to be our Jack. Like, even though they don't drop his name until maybe halfway through the special, I was like, he's got to be Jack, because I know that Werewolf by Night is in here. And like, he's the only guy in here who could possibly be Jack Russell. But it was really cool, though, I think, the way that Marvel played it, because the way that they portray it, unless you're like really paying attention, you really don't know what this guy's deal is, because it's said that he has like over 100 confirmed monster kills, more than any of the other hunters.
Right.
But the way that this guy is, he's like very much aloof.
Yeah.
You know, so you're like, how does this guy have that many kills?
I especially love just supporting and continuing to emphasize what you're talking about. I love how at the very beginning, to just like continue that conversation too, there's that one big dude who's real confident, like, yeah, I got over 50 kills confirmed myself, you know. He's like, yeah, you got any buggers in this room, like displayed on the walls? And then like this character we don't know the name of yet, this Jack to be, is like looking around like, no, none of these are my kills, but I fought against that one a couple of times. And he points to like the Nosferatu looking motherfucker,
Right.
the vampire. So it's like, oh, that's smart. Because you wouldn't think twice about that. Like, cool, he just fought against him. But you're assuming because he looks like a confused weak fuck that's like, oh, you fought against him just to escape with your life maybe. Or to, because you're supporting someone else.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just really clever.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I thought it was very clever as well. And, the fact that, like, he was so unassuming, because he goes in there in like a suit and tie, and everyone else, they have like their gear on and their weapons. He's got nothing.
A Disney tie, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's literally littered with Mickey heads. And you think that's an accident. That wasn't a fucking accident. Let's look at these studios.
But yeah, so it's like, if you don't know right off the bat that this guy is Jack Russell and that Jack Russell is the werewolf, then you're going to be wondering, for like the first 30 or so minutes, okay, who is this guy and what is his deal? But man, when he goes to pick up the Bloodstone, once they free Man-Thing, and the Bloodstone just completely, the power of Christ repels him, once that happens, then like the jig is kind of up, and at that point, everyone and including like the people who are new to Jack are like, oh yeah, so something is up with this guy, and you figure out he's one of the monsters, and so shortly thereafter, where they go ahead and give the reveal that yes, he is indeed a werewolf. And man, when we get like that fight scene there at the end, when he finally becomes the werewolf, and he breaks free from the cage and like starts like the melee. That was an amazing fight scene.
That was cool. That was very reminiscent of Daredevil season 1 Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit there with.
I mean, Daredevil season 1, the hallway scene is still always going to hold a place in my heart. But it's like it was just really cool. They filmed the whole thing with like the flashes happening at the same time to really emphasize like the Halloween vibe, just like in the story. And yeah, man, it's just cool. Yeah.
Even his transformation.
That was great.
Yeah. That was one of those cases where it proves that with enough creativity, less is more. Because I've seen like the Benicio del Toro Wolfman movie. I've seen American Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in Paris, and like with those, you see like the gruesome, just overly grotesque transformations, which I think Rick Baker did those. But like you see like the transformations and like the skin, coming off, and you see them just mutating into these beasts.
Yeah,
and it's like that's super cool when you can do it really well, especially with those the earlier 80s werewolf movies, just because it was all done practically and painstakingly so. But with this right here, with Werewolf by Night, they showed it via shadows. And so like in the background with the lighting and the shadows, you see him transform. You get an idea of what that transformation looks like via the shadows. And at the same time, you see like the look of horror on Elsa Bloodstone's face. And so, like, you get like a double whammy. You get like her reaction to him transforming, and you get an idea of what that transformation must look like. Just very well done. Very well done. Yeah, you gonna think of some transformation before we?
Nah, man, it was just cool as fuck. It was just again another priming example why this show kind of stood up above its peers, even though it's just one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going back to the fight scene that we get though. The fight scene again was really cool to see. Just because again, like they mix in like a lot of parkour with like werewolf style fighting. I don't know how to describe it. So there's like a lot of cool dodging and jumping and swinging motion that he throws in with the bite and claw attacks.
Yeah.
And they also show off like some of his super strength with him just throwing people. And again, towards the end of that fight scene, yeah, it is like the camera is basically moving in on this like kind of narrow corridor, and then it becomes stationary, and you just see Jack do his thing, and he goes off camera for a while and throws some other poor schmuck on screen.
We also saw a lot of grappling. Like this motherfucker took some martial arts, man. Like he like was able to like lock in, scissor kick, and flip and like pin somebody. So it's like, damn, this motherfucker's got moves.
Yeah.
This werewolf is like still very much like, oh yeah, Cobra Kai, motherfucker, Yeah, like he was ready.
Yeah.
It was just really impressive because it's like he's like throwing himself around the wall. He's like getting around, grappling, like grabbing around their head and flipping them over on the ground. Like what the fuck? Yeah, it was just really impressive, man.
It was. Yeah. It was super impressive.
Yeah.
But then of course they're at the end. He's getting attacked by Verussa with that bloodstone that she has. He can't do anything against that. But thankfully, Elsa comes in and she's able to save the day. And then after that, Jack he leaves. He dips the fuck out, still in werewolf state. And shortly thereafter, Verussa recovers and she's got this goddamn blunderbuss of a gun in her hand. She's going to obliterate her stepdaughter with it. Mm-hmm. And it's at that moment where Man-Thing, a.k.a. Ted, he comes back into play and fucking incinerates her with his goddamn super hellish powers. And that's the end of Verussa. And then and on top of that, he throws like her incinerated corpse at the casket containing Ulysses Bloodstone's body. Mm-hmm. And you see like his repurposed head flying out of the casket.
Fucking weird, dude. Yeah. Like, what? You need to put me in an insane asylum the day I tell you, okay, bro, when I'm dead, take my cadaver, haul me out just enough to make me into an animatronic of some sort, and set me up where I can have this gruesome conversation looking like this out of my casket. Yeah, that's a fucked up mind.
I want that, so go ahead and put me in the insane asylum.
Bro, I will. Give me a sec. I'll make the calls. Yeah. Get you in that padded room, son.
You have to catch me first.
No, I won't. That's what I'm calling for. I'll get the guys with the nets and the suits. I'll just be an onlooker like, get him. He greased up for you.
I want you to know that once you call them, they're going to be, okay, state the patient's name. Oh, no, we've tried him. We're not going after him again. No, we've lost too many good men.
Who called on you before?
It's not important. That person is no longer with us.
Oh, you insane.
Yeah, I'm crazy, bro.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah. You thought it was Rain Man crazy. No, I'm like Norman Bates crazy.
Oh, you Norman Bates crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you, oof.
Yeah.
Oof, man.
Take that for what it means.
I never hear you talk about your mom.
See? There's a reason.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you took it here.
You took it here.
No, don't put that on me.
You drove it here,
Do not put that on me.
You had the steering wheel again.
The steering wheel is not detachable, Kevin. All right? It stays in one spot.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We might have a weird-ass car. We might have a plane. Because this is like, maybe there's 2 steering wheels? I don't know.
But yeah, so after Verussa is dealt with, she points Ted, aka Man-Thing, in the right direction towards where Jack ran off to, and we see her sit down in a chair there in the corridor area, looking at the bloodstone as the screen is being saturated with the actual color. As was it Judy Garland's Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Yep, Judy Garland's.
Yeah, as that song begins to play, and then we get one last scene here between good old Ted and Jack, the Jack and Ted show. And let me tell you, this was awfully nice of Ted. It's also important to note, like the small things, because as he's leaving, like the Monster Hunter compound or wherever.
Yeah.
As he's leaving on his way out, he gingerly steps over Verussa's body because he don't want to get that nasty decapitated. But then also on his way out, he grabs like a random piece of clothing that he sees on the ground and takes it with him. And when Jack wakes up, he's wearing that random piece of clothing.
That's really cool. Good detail.
Yeah.
Bro, Marvel is teaching us that any monster made of plants is not a monster to be messed with. They are a friend.
Marvel Andes. Oh, yeah.
Groot, fucking friend. Man-Thing, big old friend.
Yeah.
Like, Man-Thing's so advanced, he made coffee.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I know how to make this drink I don't need.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you got to imagine that some part of Ted Salas is still somewhere in there. Maybe that's why he likes being called Ted so much. Because
Probably.
He's like,
It humanizes. Yeah.
That would make sense. I got to be honest. Like, I would say, like, my problem with this is it would have been a lot cooler had they made it longer.
Would have been a lot cooler.
Would have been a lot cooler if they did. Yeah.
Not.
And if they drove a Lincoln, because when you drive a Lincoln, you drive a Lincoln.
I drove a Lincoln before they paid me to drive a Lincoln. I went a little too hard on the Southern. You gotta go a little bit smokier, it feels like. Anyways. Yeah. Draw it out a little. Oh, no. You gotta go more True Detective.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't talk with people. I don't like to associate with them. We're all just here living life, waiting to die. I feel like you just made up all this shit.
Yeah, it's like
just like that. Yeah. Like every time they rolled the camera, a different line.
You're right.
Yeah.
Man, we were talking about something before we got into Matthew McConaughey.
No, we're talking about Matthew McConaughey.
I'm pretty sure for the
No,
past
we're talking
hour.
about Man-Thing making coffee.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about Man-Thing making coffee and about him being more humanized and whatnot.
Ted.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about the fact that I wish that this was longer.
Yes.
Because that's the stance. It's a 55-minute special.
Yeah.
So it's not a movie and it's not a TV show. It's just a one-off.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that this gave Marvel just more room to experiment and to, again, like we said at the top of the podcast, it gave them the room to do something different, something unique. So that was, again, a really cool touch.
Yeah.
Would you like to see them do something similar to this next year, like a part 2 with Jack?
Hell yeah.
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 So would I. It's got me wondering. I don't know, like, what the long-term plans are for, like, Blade. I don't know if Marvel plans on incorporating Ghost Rider ever. But, with the Midnight Suns video game coming out, if they wanted to adapt the Midnight Suns, different sun spelling, comic book, they have a lineup. I mean, Werewolf by Night, technically, I don't think he was ever a Midnight Sun, but he'd be a cool addition if they wanted to do it, and they have the character now. Obviously they have Mahershala Ali as Blade. I believe at least for a little bit, Man-Thing was in the Midnight Suns. Ghost Rider, again, they can recast Ghost Rider because no Nicolas Cage, please. And they can bring in Ghost Rider. There's just a lot of things that they can do here now. With the MCU having a full range of other characters, they can experiment a lot now and really just do basically whatever it is they want to do. And so I hope they don't limit themselves, go back to limiting themselves to like one flavor of ice cream again. Because if Phase 4 is proving anything, it's that people are kind of tired of that flavor.
For sure. Yeah. And stop making goddamn ice cream that you're trying to make bland enough and with just enough details that you can incorporate into your movies. At this point, your movies incorporate into one another so well. Your TV shows have been very sucky at it. I don't like it. It sucks. It sucks dog dick. Jesus. Let's move on without that. You don't have to do that for me. If you can't do it well, you've tried to this point, and I commend you for trying. Calm down until you get a good idea.
I think inherently the issue with Disney Plus, they have a shit ton of subscribers. So what I'm saying right now is very much just me pissing in the wind.
Sure.
But the issue I think with Disney Plus is the fact that, and this is going to sound so fucking stupid because it's obvious, but they need a constant stream of content in order to keep people. However, the content needs to be good.
Right.
And because we know the caliber of content that they're capable of.
Yeah. And the shows is not spitting.
Yeah, as a whole, they're not living up to those expectations. There have been what we say 8 now. If we're not counting Werewolf by Night, it's been 8.
Yeah, that's a special.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that's not. Yeah.
Out of the 8, I mean, there's probably only like 3 that I would willingly go back and rewatch. Okay, now out of those 3. 2 of those I've seen that I don't know if you have.
Which ones?
Hawkeye and What If.
I've seen enough of Hawkeye. That one's not bad. I'm not sure I'd go back and rewatch it, though. What about WandaVision? That wasn't it?
That's my third one.
That was your third one? Okay. That one's the most intriguing. That one has the most draw for me to go and rewatch, potentially. But I don't know, man. Like, these shows really needed to come out before Marvel Netflix happened. That's what would have made me care enough to rewatch them. Because now that I know Marvel Netflix is a thing, and I have that memory freshly on my mind because I'll still YouTube scenes from those shows to this day.
Yeah. And well, see, here's the thing. Like, even without comparing them to the Netflix Marvelverse, like they're not that strong. Like
that's
even without comparing them.
But it's like at that point, I wouldn't have had anything else. You know, if this is all I got, you know, if the only thing in my food cabinet's tuna and I ain't got DoorDash or I can't grocery shop, not a sponsor, then I had to be careful there. Then yeah, I'm just gonna fucking eat tuna, I guess. You know, yeah. So in this case, yeah, Disney Plus is that tuna. You know, canned tuna's, you know, it's good.
And now, you know, back in like the, you know, early to mid 2000s, we got a stretch there where like they're like, man, X-Men's really good, Spider-Man's really good. Let's give them Ghost Rider, Daredevil, and Fantastic Four.
Ben Affleck Daredevil, yes.
Yeah, Fantastic Four, and like, you know, a slew of other just not good superhero movies.
The difference is actually, I don't know that. Never mind. I was about to make an assumption. That's not fair. I was about to say that they listened and stopped. But I don't know if that's true or not.
That's not true.
I think they literally just came out with movies and said, oh, fuck, I guess we failed. Try again. Here we go. And then all of a sudden, you know, we got Elektra. And it's like, why the fuck did we do this? Yeah.
Which was somehow...
No, I don't need more Evanescence in my life. Thank you.
They're like, did he say more? Let's give him more.
No. I said less. I'm good. No more Evanescence on my salad, please. They keep fucking putting pepper on my... Yeah.
We need to bring him to life. That's what we need.
Oh, suck a dick, dude. You are my immortal thorn on my side. That's another Evanescence joke I don't think you're going to get. Yeah.
No, they play that song in Daredevil as well.
They do? Mm-hmm. Fuck, I don't remember that movie anymore. Wow. They played My Immortal on that?
Yep.
Shit. Was she just in control of the soundtrack? Like Phil Collins guitar at 10?
You know, not to get off of that Daredevil movie, but how much of the budget went to the soundtrack? Because Evanescence, they were pretty big.
Yeah, they were good. That one album put them on the map. Admittedly, they're good songs.
And then fucking didn't the lead singer Amy Lee? She did the song with Seether, right, for Punisher.
Yes, Broken.
So it was like, goddamn, they were just riding that fucking.
Yeah, man, Amy Lee got paid by Marvel. Yeah. Marvel's like, nah. No more Amy Lee. No.
We're cutting you off.
New movie comes out. There's an edgy white character. Amy Lee. No, Amy. No.
Get back. We said no more.
Homies, congratulations. You have sat through my favorite bit this entire episode. Seeing Amy Lee come out. How can you see this darkness through my eyes? No, shut the fuck up, Amy Lee. Shut the fuck up. Go back down.
Oh shit. No, I think I know. I think I know one more song. I got one more Amy.
All I remember is Bring Me to Life and My Immortal. So what's the one that's not one of those two?
Iron Man 1 comes out. And she's like, I know this character. Okay. Can he call me when he's sober?
Oh! You did it. You did it. You son of a bitch.
And they're like, no, get the fuck back.
No, get the fuck back, Amy Lee. I'm over here, homies, just like slapping my hand out the air. Like, no, get back, Amy Lee. Stop it.
Just poking it with a broomstick. Get away. Oh, shit.
Fucking A, dude. Hilarious.
God damn. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Werewolf by Night, though, had no Evanescence. That's what we're getting at.
I don't even know who was in charge of the soundtrack, but it wasn't Evanescence.
It was not Evanescence.
It wasn't Evanescence. It wasn't Danny Elfman.
Nope.
Who would have been a good Halloween music, admittedly, but... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But what they went with was something that was more retro, more like, again, those old school Universal monster movies.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they needed.
Yeah. I do wonder, I mean, not that I don't think Universal could do anything about it, but I wonder how Universal feels that, like, hey, that's our thing. We did that.
What's that?
The monster movies, like all those old school, like the Wolfman and, you know, Frankenstein, like those are all like Universal pictures.
Which studios was in charge of The Mummy? Was that Universal?
I think that's Universal as well.
Which is ironic, actually. Yeah, because they were supposed to use The Mummy Returns with Tom Cruise as a catalyst.
Yeah,
to
like
begin.
a dark universe.
Yes.
Actually, I thought that like Tom Cruise is going to be the staple of it, but I thought that the first one was that Dracula Untold movie. Actually, I don't know if you. I watched that for some reason.
Yeah.
It was.
It might have been the prequel, the prologue, if you will.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like the fucking Mummy Returns had too much Tom Cruise.
Or we shouldn't say Mummy Returns because that was the good one with Brendan Fraser. Whatever that abomination that Tom Cruise was in was called.
Man, he ruined that movie. And it wasn't even necessarily. No, it was necessarily him. It was him, and his like such a fucking like to get me in this movie. Here's the terms and obligations. Mm-hmm. That's what ruined it, homies. It was the full on like I need to have as much, if not more, screen time than the Mummy. I need to have complete control and editorial power over the script. Yep. It was all bullshit like that, guys.
Yeah. And they gave it to him. So yeah.
Yeah. That's when you say, nah, dog, we'll pass. Let's call someone else. Get Chris Pratt on this shit. Yeah.
It's me. I'm Audio.
Yeah.
I guess one more thing before we wrap this one up though, and that is so you and I both really like Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
It is something that is extremely different, something that is really creative, something that really, really works.
Agreed.
I mean, it gives you that old school horror campy vibe from the movies of yesteryear, but again with modern sensibilities and modern technology, and they just nail it. Mm-hmm. So I guess that before we wrap up here, like, what would you like to see? Or we already said you would like to see these characters return, or at least some of them, right? Like Jack.
Yeah, the ones that survived.
Yeah, the ones that survived. Yeah. So Jack, Ted, and Elsa,
and the butler.
I
want to see that motherfucker come back. Man, he was the most innocent person in this whole movie.
I will say this before we wrap up here as well, and that is like one really cool scene with the butler in it, and it's like you kind of blink and you miss it. During the final melee, Elsa's fighting one of the blood hunters, one of the
nerd.
Yeah, you're a nerd.
You're a nerd.
You're a goddamn nerd.
I'm a nerd for knowing what you're talking about, but you're a nerd.
When Elsa was fighting one of the monster hunters, in the background you just see like this shadow slip away, and I didn't see what it was my first viewing. My second viewing, I saw it was the butler just hiding in the back.
Yep.
Like, fuck this shit.
Butler runs through the scene. Ooh.
Yeah.
The director. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. So I just want to do like a little bit of fan scripting or fan casting. Just because this Blade movie, I don't know if it's ever going to come out now. There's been like more setbacks and more frustrations. Mahershala Ali has expressed some frustrations. But with that being said, I do understand why they had Mahershala Ali drop that line at the end of Eternals. He was off screen and he said something to Kit Harington's Black Knight. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay.
I remember the scene you're talking about.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Where it wasn't the all black, was it? No, that was the sword that
it was Excalibur.
Yes, that's right. All black was Gore's sword.
Yeah.
That they never got to call that for some reason.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they never called it that.
Yeah.
So I understand like why they dropped that little cameo there. I mean, I guess like because Blade and Black Knight, they do shit together in the comics every once in a while, but it's like you're not like the number one go-to for Blade.
Yeah,
in my mind. And so I guess I'm like,
what was the line?
I don't even remember what it was.
Okay, I was waiting for you to say it, but I was like, I need the memory. Yeah.
Okay. I just remember that it was him, and no one knew who it was at first. Who said the line, and Marvel had to release it online. Like, hey, this was Mahershala Ali's Blade who said that. Yeah, because no one fucking knew. But yeah, I would really like to see Werewolf by Night make an appearance. Like, if they're at the point now where like they have to do more rewrites in the movie, I say fucking do it. Put the goddamn werewolf in there.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I think that'd be I think that could be a really fucking dope move. I mean, because right now it's like as opposed to what? Yeah. Yeah. I just think that worked out.
What was that villain's name? I want to say Nick Frost, but that's an actual human being.
You talking about Deacon Frost from the Blade movie?
Yes, I want to see Deacon motherfucking Frost. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I don't know. But nah, I'm good. I don't know.
You know, the guy who played Deacon Frost co-starred in True Detective Season 3 with Mahershala Ali. It was his partner.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh, man. This world is too small.
It is.
Watch out, homies. You're running into one another out there.
Yeah. Extremely fucking coincidental that was.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I just thought that'd be really cool. But fuck, I didn't want to go off on the goddamn Blade tangent, but shit is looking really rough for that movie right now. Hopefully they can get the shit fixed up.
Yeah.
But I've also heard rumors that Anthony Starr is going to play Dracula.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
That would be money.
Yes. What are we doing?
That I can see.
Who do we need to buy a prostitute for to get this movie going?
For me, don't ask questions, Kevin. Just do it.
I have a lot of questions, Quentin. I don't believe you. I'm gonna send Kevin Feige.
Goddamn.
He's gonna be like, again? Who's this one from? That's hilarious.
Yep. Oh man, but yeah. So hopefully the Blade movie gets fixed up. If you had to score the Werewolf by Night special, Kevin, what are your final thoughts and what do you score it? He's in deep thought.
I want to say like 8.2, 8.3 out of 10. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It fits really good right there. So that's where my brain wants to put it. So, and my heart.
And your heart.
And my heart.
Yeah. I give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that that as a whole, they just did such a great job with this little project they have here. And it may just be like my flavor of things, but when Marvel goes more creative, it's really where they win me over.
Yeah.
Again, like with WandaVision, at least the first 8 episodes of that were just money. #Hazmat Franklin.
Hazmat fucking Franklin. You knew I had to interrupt you for that, man. I miss that guy. What's he up to, man? I need to see his story.
He's probably dead.
That's probably true.
Hazmat Franklin, guys. That's our name for the beekeeper who entered the sewers in WandaVision and never came back. What If was super creative as well because they just gave them free reign to fucking tell a fucking cool ass stories, and then they all fucking tied together. It was great. Werewolf by Night is another one of those great examples of something being really creative. Again, I wish it were longer. Hopefully we get to see these characters again soon in the future. I would really love that, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's all I got for this one, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man, I'm good, man. This has been a pretty awesome show. Yeah, homies, hopefully you had a chance to watch it. If you haven't, go ahead and treat yourself to a little Halloween special. The one good thing about this, too, for those of you out there wondering, because we haven't talked about this to a degree yet, is Disney+. So if you're wondering, well, it's a Halloween special, is it going to try to scare me? Nah, not really. Go for it. It's very mild in that department. It more touches on almost the campy horror flavors, but it does so on purpose because it touches such a nostalgic flavor of the genre. So
Right.
if any of you out there have a palate sensitive to the horror flavor, you're good. This is very much a plain wing, not no mild even. So there you have it. And just one more quick disclaimer too, just because I don't think we've said it enough of recent episodes, because I've honestly fucking forgotten to plug ourselves here. Homies, feel free to show your boys some love and give some of that word of mouth to your fellow friends and your fellow nerds out there.
That means give them head and then tell them about the podcast. That's what you meant, right? That's what you right?
Not really.
No.
But also not originally, because hey, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't be selfish lovers out there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. treat everyone like you want to be treated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Giving is better than receiving. Isn't that what we were taught as children?
Right?
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, after you're done doing such favors for those closest to you, feel free to look up and tell them about the good old superhero homies right thereafter.
Yeah.
Especially if it's on the X-Men sheets. So, amen. Amen to that. But that's a long, long story to tell. But, yeah, homies. So, yeah. In all seriousness, do your boys a favor, please, and thank you. And give a shout out to those close to you who you know would enjoy the episodes.
Yes, absolutely. If you guys also have not done so, check out our Patreon page. That is patreon.com/superhero homies. We recently did a review on the movie Smile.
Hell yeah. We've been doing horror movies like once a week. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Before that, we did a review on The Barbarian. Well, that's just called Barbarian. There is no The. Barbarian. Yes.
Indeed.
So we have been covering a lot of horror movies here as of late. And yeah, I mean, tis the season. Next week, we'll be doing our Black Adam preview.
Yep.
The following week, we'll be talking about a couple of horror comics, one of which being The Ice Cream Man. And then, of course, also we have the Black Adam review, like where we actually watch the movie and shit. So, yeah, there's also that. So we got a pretty busy month ahead of us, guys. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the content. Hopefully you've enjoyed the content we've given you all so far. But that would be all for now. Thank you guys again for listening in. You guys are the bomb diggity bomb. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I am Superhero Homie Kevin.